you've decided on doing the design landscape. Now, with the design landscape, you are going to be doing a landscape just like was described. Like you'll be seeing a video on landscape design after I go over this with you, but it's not exactly the exact same thing. You're going to be seeing a little bit more straight lines and a little bit more horizontal lines, but that doesn't mean that you're still not going to have a foreground, middle ground, background. Yours is a little bit more design oriented, meaning that it's just kind of more basic. I don't want it to look as realistic. You're kind of making it look more decorative. So right now what I'm going to do is go over the rubric with you, and also we're going to look at an example or two of the project. So this is the layout, or this is the three things you're being graded on. The first thing is the layout. The project is symmetrical vertically with a clear fore, middle, and background. The project is perfectly balanced on either side, both line and color. So symmetry means that it's the same on one side and the other, and we are doing it vertically. So right down the middle here, everything on the left side and on the right side is perfectly equal, both coloring and lines. So that means my lines, my shapes, everything are the same on the left side and the right side. Also, the coloring I do, obviously, I mean, when I do things like the little circles and everything, I'm going to be a little lenient. But I want you to try as hard as you can to get things on the left side and the right side as perfectly the same. Like, I wouldn't want this one colored one color and this side the other color. Like, the colors on these are the same. If I'm going to gradate this over here, then I also am going to gradate the same thing over here. So whatever you do to one side, you are going to do the other side. It's got to be perfectly balanced on either side. Alright, coloring. Coloring is neat and easily viewed with use of marker for the edge and pencil for the filling. So you're going to edge out everything on the outside. If you look, all the outside lines I drew, even these inside lines here, all the lines I drew were done using marker. So I've got marker here, and then I fill it in with colored pencil. You're going to be, are you coloring it nice and neat? You're not rushing through it. Your pencil marks are close together. Those are the things I'm looking for. The last thing is the technique, and this is probably the toughest thing about this, because when you're not making something look realistic, you need to find a way to make it look interesting without the realism. So in your technique, it says shows understanding and uses the technique of line variation and has gradation throughout the entire project. Alright, so the best place to see line variation is right here. If you notice, I've got a thinner line here, and then it thickens up on the other side. So it's thin over here, thickens up on the inside. So I've got over here, thicker here, thinner here. So you're having places where your lines are thicker and thinner. Alright, that's called line variation. The other is gradation. So gradation means you're starting dark and going light in places, or you're fading from one color to the next. For instance, where's a good place? I've got two colors here in the tree. I've got like a reddish brown going to a lighter brown. Here, where the sunset goes, I've got orange to purple to blue to dark blue. Or you could have it where you're just going from one color to nothing. Like here in the bushes, I start dark and I just go light. With the tree here, I just have one green and I go darker green. The clouds, I went dark to light. So there are these techniques that I'm going to be grading you on throughout the entire project. Now I'm going to talk about more of them when we start actually going into some of the other videos. So what I want you to look at right now is this is a painting from Roger Brown. This is kind of the style that I'm looking for you guys to have, a little bit more flat, a little bit more decorative and design oriented. You can see that it doesn't really look realistic, but I can tell what everything is. Think of it as if you're drawing it almost like a second grader. Like, what does a tree look like? What does a mountain look like? You're trying to stay simple with the way that you're making things. notice that there is still a foreground, middle ground, background going on here. It might not be your traditional foreground, middle ground, background, but there is still something happening here. Notice there's also slight gradation in places. There's places where it's darker and then it gets lighter in different areas. This is really the inspiration for this project, is these Roger Brown paintings. So I'll show you one more here so you can kind of just get another idea of what Roger Brown is doing. Again, same as the other one, you've got very flat, slight gradation, but still has a semblance of a foreground, middle ground, background. This is really what we're looking for in this project. So, what you're going to do now is you're going to get started sketching out your project, and then we'll move on from there. So you're going to start out and see me from doing this project from nothing all the way to the end of it from what you see right now.